Hey everybody, welcome back. So we have taken on a new Tegu who's kind of leery of people, doesn't really like us. Then we've been going through the process of kind of getting him familiarized with us and kind of taming him down, getting him to feel more comfortable. So today is the 5th handling session that we've done so far. We're going to be feeding a little bit. I want to go over a couple of comments and questions and so forth that have come in. And we just want to see how he does today. And hopefully we get a little bit more progress, just like we have progressively here over the last 4 handling sessions. So we're going to see how, he yawned. I wish I would have caught that. We're going to see how he does today on Intrepid Exotics. Whether you're a lifelong keeper or just getting started, help us encourage responsible keeping, conservation, and public education in the interest of keeping our reptiles safe and healthy as we protect them for future generations. You're invited to spend time with us as we experience these awesome animals together on Intrepid Exotics. Alright, so I just sat down here, just opened up. He's on the other side of the enclosure down there on the bottom, and his food is up here up top. So I'm going to see if I can't coax him over here. What do you think, buddy? There you go. I want to get him up top. So this is going to consist probably of me picking him up, and I'm sure he's not going to like it. Come on, buddy. Come on. Let me try and keep you in the camera. Just going to pick him up, and you got to be really careful of their tails when you pick them up. You can't. There you go. You're okay. There you go, bud. You're okay. Okay. So I'm just going to sit here and ignore him now. Let him start eating. I'm quite certain he's going to. Because he tends to eat really well, which is a good sign. So I was able to get a good shot of his teeth. I know I've talked about this in previous videos, but if you see here, this is what we was talking about, with those front teeth being really sharp. You know, those are the ones that are meant for the carnivorous prey to get a hold and latch on and tear at their prey. And then you can't really see too well, but the ones in the back are more meant for grinding up vegetable matter and stuff like that. But he's off to the side right now, slurping on that egg, so we're going to kind of leave him alone and let him get that part down. But one of the things that I wanted to address, and really quick before I do this too, you know, all of the comments and stuff and the suggestions and everything like that's all welcome. It's really cool to see folks participating and kind of getting invested and seeing how he does and so forth. One of the comments that came up was somebody mentioning that in the, I think it was the 2nd video we did, where he tried to bite me when I reached in, had mentioned that it was a food response. Now, that's a reasonable assumption in a lot of cases. You know, it's definitely something that we think of all the time with our snakes. You know, if we're going in and, you know, we get bit, as a food response. But in this particular case, like I said, this guy is just really leery of people. He doesn't have any trust of people. He's really leery of me. And, you know, one of the things that they do to make you go away is to bite you. And the reason why I really don't think that was a food response is because earlier that day, I'd actually went in, came down with a banana and tried to offer it to him. He didn't want anything to do with it. I even broke off a piece, put it on the tongs, was rubbing it on his mouth. Didn't want to touch it. Which I'm kind of surprised actually that he does come up and eat in front of me, because you know, like I said, he was really hesitant to be tongue fed and all that. And it even surprises me that he'll come down and eat with me sitting here. You know, it just kind of goes to show that there is hope. But yeah, the bites that he was giving me, pretty convinced that those were not food response bites. Those were strictly, I don't want to be messed with. You need to leave me alone. And this is what's going to happen if you don't. And just like with those, you know, showing those teeth, those things really hurt when you get those jaws. They've got about the same bite pressure as a German Shepherd does. So although their teeth aren't quite as long, they can still do a little bit of damage. Hey, you doing good? Doing good, buddy? I don't have another egg, but I got some greens up there for you. It's okay. There you go. There. Tegu boy. What are you doing? You okay? Now, one thing you do want to remember with these guys is that, you know, when they eat, we do need to vary their diet. They need to have, you know, a lot of greens in there, fruits, vegetables, and stuff like that. It should be a big part of their diet. Should actually be a little bit more than the meats that you give them. You know, when I do the meats, I try and mix it up some. What you doing, bud? You good? Try and mix it up some, you know, fish and shell-on shrimp and stuff like that. He absolutely loves shrimp. As soon as I bring that down, that's the first thing he picks out of it. But we definitely need to make sure that they have their greens in their diet too. What are you doing? What are you doing? You're being weird, man. Hey, watch the fingers. Watch the fingers. There. Put that stuff in there. You're okay. You're okay, bud. You're okay. There you go. You're okay. No. See, that's what I mean. I mean, we can go in there and we can start trying to ease in the handling and stuff like that. But that attempt right there was definitely not a food response. I mean, these guys are smart. He knows what the food is in there. He knows what the egg is. He knows what that stuff is. He also knows what my hand is, and he knows that I was touching him and he didn't want me to do that. So that flash, that turn like that, was him saying, okay, don't touch me. So we're going to leave him alone a little bit and let him eat. I'm going to go ahead and give him about 5-10 minutes to kind of just eat on his own and stuff. And then we'll come back over and start doing a little bit lighter interactions and see what he does. There you go. Come on back. It's a good boy. Just kind of side-eyeing me right now. And I'll end up leaving him alone, letting him, leave him alone with his food here in a little bit. But one good thing that I'm seeing, and even with him kind of turning and snapping at me a little bit there, what I'm not seeing him doing is he's not laying there with his eyes closed as much. I mean, granted, part of that's got to do with the fact that there's food out here. But as you can see, he's laying there, his eyes are open. That's a really good sign. Of course, he's going to close them some, but it's just not nearly as much as it has been the first few days. What do you think? You going to be okay? You going to be okay, bud? Come on, open your eyes. Open your eyes, buddy. Okay. 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 Oh, did that startle you now when I started talking again? Okay, so this is one of those times where, we got a little bit of interaction in. We got to see a little bit of response, getting to see a little bit of changes in behavior. Still ended up getting a little bit of a nip attempt anyway. Which is why I say, when you see him coming up and you see me pulling back and all that other stuff, I mean, there's a reason for that. When he thinks he's going to get an opportunity to, that mouth is going to open up and he's going to let me know that he's either intent on biting me or he's going to try to. So anyway, a big part of this process is leaving them alone and letting them get comfortable. And I think he's had enough excitement for one day. We're going to go ahead and let him relax and bask and finish picking away at his food right there. And we'll go ahead and do this again tomorrow. And of course, there won't be any food involved. So we'll see how that goes. Maybe if I can get him crawling out of the enclosure more like that and actually handling him around, then maybe that's the point where we'll go ahead and transition into closing off Niles' half of the enclosure and putting him in there and letting him run around for a little while. And we'll see how that interaction goes. But all in all, he's still doing pretty good. We've still got a long ways to go. It's not going to happen overnight, but if you guys haven't caught the other episodes, I've got a playlist up here on the channel. You can find that. I've got it linked in the end screen. Typically what I'm doing is in the end screen of these, I'll have the previous and the next videos up there along with the playlist so you guys can keep along with it, or keep up with it rather. So get subscribed to the channel. Keep up. Again, jump down in the comments if you've got any questions, comments, suggestions, stuff like that. By all means, let me know. All input is welcome. So you guys have an outstanding day, and we'll see you next time on Intrepid Exotics.